Hi, and welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Kate. I'm an integrative relational psychotherapist, a life coach, a yoga instructor, and an author. If you would like to schedule an individual online session with me, you can find all of the relevant information on my webpage. Now, the subject of today's video are going to be relationships. I will not be talking about narcissists this time. I will rather be talking about relationships, more specifically, how to make them work. Now, tell me honestly, are you currently in a happy and loving relationship? Is there anything that you would like to change about your relationship? Are you looking for a way out, but are too afraid to do so because you fear you might not find a better person for you? Have you had many failed relationships in your past? Are you starting to doubt yourself? Are you frustrated by love, by relationships? Have you given up on relationships and love? Do you think that the situation is hopeless and it can never be improved? Well, I do admit that relationships are indeed complex. It's not easy to find the right partner, and it's not easy to make a relationship work. However, there are certain things that we can be mindful of when choosing our partner. And if we are careful in who we choose to spend the rest of our lives with, or at least a large part of our lives with, then I think most relationships have a chance of succeeding. I've prepared a course entitled How to Choose the Right Partner, because in the end, even though initially we are driven by our lust, by our sex drive, by attraction and chemistry, in the end, it has to be a conscious decision for somebody. And I will now share with you some of the course content. I will not delve into detail, but I will give you a brief outline of the course. I've prepared a couple of slides so that you will be better able to follow. Here it is. So, how to choose the right partner. Here are some tips. I've structured this course into 3 parts, and in each of those 3 parts, I take a look at a specific segment. In part 1, I mostly deal with ourselves, so with us who are choosing to be with somebody else. And in this part 1, I talk about what is it that subconsciously guides us when we are choosing our partners. I know we all like to think that we always make a conscious decision to be with someone, yet before we get to the point of making a conscious decision, there are other forces at work that drove us to that person. I talk about what happens when we move from the in love to loving phase, from fantasy to reality. I talk about developmental stages and the importance of the Oedipal phase. Now, you might think, what do developmental stages have to do with my current relationships? Well, more than you know, because developmental stages impact how we perceive ourselves, relationships, and the world in general. And the Oedipal phase is especially important because specific dynamics are at play within the family in that period of time. And if the Oedipal phase is not negotiated successfully, as we call it in psychology, then we might have difficulties throughout our lives in all our intimate relationships. I also talk about life script and family patterns, and I offer an analysis of your current or past malfunctioning relationships. So I'm sure you're curious to know whether you have been or are currently in a collusive or projective type of a relationship. In part 2, I am focusing mostly on the key elements that you should be mindful of when choosing a partner. I talk about key areas of compatibility, about expectations, about intimacy, autonomy, and togetherness. So, how much time do you have to spend together? Is it okay if you spend some time apart, or is that already a sign for alarm? And I talk about the 8 relational needs in integrative therapy. Mind you, these relational needs do not have anything to do with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And in part 3, I talk about intimacy, desire, passion, and sex, because these are the components that make romantic relationships different from friendly relationships. I talk about the importance of intimacy in a relationship. And of course, I talk about the importance of sex in a relationship. I talk about sexual compatibility and about problems in the bedroom, which are quite often a taboo topic. So this is the outline of the course. Of course, I talk about all of these issues much more in detail. The course is 4 hours long. Even if you're not currently in a relationship or looking for a partner, I think that it would be beneficial to you because it will help you resolve some of your own family and developmental and other patterns that unconsciously impact your choice of a partner and also the way you behave in relationships. So do sign up. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, do like it, share it, subscribe to my channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to write them down in the comment box. And if you don't feel like publicly expressing your views or sharing your questions or experience, you can always send me an email. Take care, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye-bye.